Hey there Starseekers, my name's Luke and welcome back to the channel for another indie game review. And yes, you heard me right there, I said review of what can only be described as the worst first person shooter I've ever played on the Nintendo Switch. American Wild Hunting is a gallery style shooting game brought to us by those asset flipping bellends over at Pixarts, who have also released two near identical games, the first being Clay Skeet Shooting, which swaps out the birds for a bunch of clay pigeons, and the second being Zombie Apocalypse, which of course replaces them with zombies. Now I've been meaning to cover one of these titles for a while, but try as I might, I haven't actually been able to find out where they've sourced their assets for the games. But as you're about to see, the overall lack of quality makes me think, dare I say it, that they've actually created the games themselves. Now that's not to say that they made all the assets themselves, as during my searches I snagged a copy of Clay Skeet Shooting on the PC, and delved into its assets where I found plenty of them common to all three games, including the background images, which are essentially just free HD wallpapers, bar the one called Wheatgrass Field Landscape that was likely taken without permission from Anime, a deviant artist who has had to close a stock for us due to people stealing them. So with all that said, let's take a quick look at what the eShop description of American Wild Hunting promises to offer us with its gameplay. If you love to shoot with the most well-known guns, rifles, handguns and machine guns of the market, you'll love playing this shooter. You'll find in this hunting game the real birds you can shoot in real hunting on North America territory, from albatrosses to eagles, swans to ducks, pigeons to bufflehead and many more. With its high-paced action, American Wild Hunting will challenge your dexterity and ability to concentrate. Its main features are easy and smooth controls, beautiful sceneries, 3D animated flying birds, realistic sound effects, HD graphics, and true bird sounds. Are you ready to become a wild hunter? Well, that certainly sounds like a great time to me, so let's now step on through that veil of bullshit and see what the game actually has to offer. So as the game loads up, we find that it's made in Unity, so no surprises there. And upon hitting the main menu, you'll note right away that the HD graphics are about as defined as the abs on a 50-stone heifer with a thyroid problem called Sharon. It's void of any kind of options menu, and it's also deathly silent as the game doesn't contain any kind of music, which makes the upcoming set of sound effects even more piss-boilingly irritating. Now after selecting to start the game, we're then straight into level 1, where we have to shoot 5 birds out of 25. Prior to starting each level, we're able to select which gun we want to use, and there's a decent selection of these guns here, but trust me when I say there's very little difference between them. Putting aside this fact though, you have a selection of all-time classics on offer here, from the trusty Winchester Model 94 and the Smith & Wesson Model 500, to modern day armaments such as the Glock 17, AK-47 and the M16. Regardless of the weapon you select though, there's one thing that's more or less guaranteed: you're not going to have a good time shooting any of them. So to start with, I went with the Browning BT-99, which didn't initially appear, leaving my pudgy little sausage fingers grasping thin air. Upon starting the level for the first time, I was given simple instructions: aim with the Joy-Con, or more precisely the left thumbstick, and shoot by pressing the A button. With that, my gun then popped into existence and I was straight into the action. Now so far as gameplay goes, American Wild Hunting is your standard gallery shooter. Various types of birds fly in from either side of the screen, each time making a caw or a screech, which despite the eShop's claims, most likely don't sound anything like the actual birds. It's then your job as some sort of sadistic mercenary hunter to aim your green cursor and blow them out of the sky, which results in every bird making an identical pitiful screech as they drop limply from the sky and vanish. The birds themselves include things like eagles, swans, mallard ducks and doves, and each of them has about 6 frames of animation, just to give them that really realistic 3D animated flying birds look that the eShop description has promised. Now birds continually appear on the screen, and a counter in the top right keeps track of how many you've managed to shoot in relation to how many have appeared, while the top left displays your remaining ammo count and your current score, to which each bird kill adds 10 points to. After all birds have flown, the level then ends and you're rewarded bonus points for some reason or other, and then it's off to the next wonderful landscape and more of those delightful HD graphics. From what I could tell, each level sees an increase in the number of birds you've got to mow down, and the overall speed of them is increased as they fly across the screen. Now, to give you an example of the kind of beautiful sceneries the eShop description talks about, you have things like Hitler's Austrian Alps retreat, a picturesque lake view, a lush green meadow beneath a glorious sunset sky, and the surface of Mars. In all, I counted 10 different locations for you to visit, after which the scenes start to repeat themselves. Now, so far as the game's controls go, I actually can't knock them. They were both easy to grasp and surprisingly smooth. And when it came down to shooting birds, I didn't have much trouble, but you need to ensure your cursor is over part of the model or you'll just fire and miss. Using the fully automatic machine guns though does remedy this issue, as you can just hold down the fire button and swing your cursor around like a madman, but this does come with a price as the game's sound effects start to get on your tits about 30 seconds into the first level. Not only do the birds cause a constant cacophony of noise as they swoop and dive their way across the screen, there are also about 3 sound effects shared between all 3 of the guns. You have this pitiful pistol sound effect for both the Glock and the Smith & Wesson 500, an even more pathetic gunshot for the shotguns and rifles, and finally a god-awful machine gun sound effect for any of the automatic weapons, which sounds more like a helicopter than anything else. If I could have done so, I would have muted the sounds, but unfortunately there are no sound options and I was just too lazy to remove my headset. Now, so far as problems go, bar the game just being complete shit in general, I frequently had birds flying off the screen making it impossible to hit them, and I found myself running out of ammo when using things like the Glock in the later levels. Overall, I'd say American Wild Hunting is undoubtedly the most regrettable purchase I've made from the Switch eShop, and if anyone feels like sending me a pity donation, then you'll find a link to my PayPal on the channel's information page. When it comes to a rating, you won't be surprised to find that I'm going to be giving American Wild Hunting a big fat dirty shovelware stamp of approval, which I only reward to the worst games on the eShop. Hopefully this puts to bed any doubts you had about the quality of this game and Pixarts' 2 other gallery shooters, and the bullet I've taken on this one deters you from ever buying this, or for that matter, any of Pixarts' other games. You can get American Wild Hunting from the UK Switch eShop for £3.99, but don't do that, or from the US eShop for $3.99, but don't do that either. And that's about it for this review of American Wild Hunting. Hit that like button if you have any sympathy whatsoever for me, let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments section below, and subscribe to the channel as I upload reviews for decent Switch games every few days. For now though, I just want to thank you all once again for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves and game on.